Hello, New York Giants fans, and welcome to the Valentine's Views podcast here on Big Blue View Radio, part of your SB Nation family of podcasts. I'm your host, Ed Valentine of Big Blue View. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe to support our channel, to support the work that we do, the videos that I do, the videos that Nick Filato does, some fantastic film breakdowns that I know a lot of you guys enjoy. Also, if you're listening to us on Big Blue View Radio, on wherever you listen to podcasts, please subscribe, give us a rating, give us a comment if you can. We always appreciate the support. Those of you watching on YouTube, before I get started, I quickly want to apologize for the sort of weird background, weird lighting that you guys see today. We're playing hurt here today, playing through a little bit of a back issue today, forcing yours truly to do this standing up in a little bit of a different setting today. So doing the best I can here, and I know that the lighting is just a little bit weird behind me, but I apologize for that. I hope you guys can put up with that while we talk some about your New York Giants, and let's talk about Wednesday's goings on at Giants practice the day before they host a joint practice with the New York Jets at Quest Diagnostics Training Center. Wednesday started out as a feel-good day for the Giants. Wide receiver Sterling Shepard returning from the PUP list to participate in his first practice of 2022, slightly 8 months after tearing an Achilles tendon late in the 2021 season. Shepard, of course, a very popular Giants player, only remaining Giant player on the current roster, unless you count Andrew Adams, who came and went basically and is now back. But Sterling Shepard, really the only guy who remains from that 2016 playoff team. So really the only true veteran player, guy who's been here through all of it the last few years, all the downs basically. There really haven't been many ups. So and Shepard, popular player, still a good player when he can manage to get on the field. Unfortunately, hasn't been on the field enough the last couple of years. But back to give it one more try with the Giants. I think this is Shep's 7th year. Shep was really happy on Wednesday to get back out on the field. Called the football field his happy place. Talked about how much he likes being part of the Giants organization, and as I said, was really happy. It was really good to see Shep back on the field. Unfortunately for the Giants, before Sterling Shepard's first practice of 2022 ended, the Giants were getting more bad news on the injury front. Wide receiver Collin Johnson, who's had a really spectacular summer, really pushing for playing time throughout training camp, the first 2 preseason games. Shepard tore his ACL, or not his ACL, tore his Achilles tendon during Wednesday's practice. He'll be lost for the season. Also heard, and don't know a whole lot about this one, but saw some reference to the fact that Alex Bachman, another wide receiver who had a great game the other night in the preseason game against the Cincinnati Bengals, 11 catches, 2 touchdowns, I think 122 yards. Saw some reference to the fact that Bachman might have suffered a toe injury. So another blow to the Giants wide receiving core, and really especially the Johnson injury taking some of the shine off of what should have been a real feel-good day for your Giants on Wednesday. Feel really, really bad for Collin Johnson, who was really pushing for some playing time, had drawn compliments from head coach Brian Daboll, and will be lost to the Giants until the 2023 season. Giants injured reserve list is really, really long at this point in the year, considering that we're still only 2 weeks into the preseason. You've got Collin Johnson, you've got Marcus McKethan, rookie guard, out for the year. You've got Darian Beavers, rookie inside linebacker, out for the year. You've got Ricky Seals-Jones placed on IR. He'll probably wind up getting an injury settlement and getting waived. Robert Foster got an injury settlement off IR just today and got waived. Another veteran wide receiver who was placed on IR last week. So, and the Giants, of course, lost tackle Matt Gano early in training camp to a potentially career-threatening neck injury. So the injury news just continues to pile up for the Giants. Obviously, we know Kayvon Thibodeau might not is unlikely to return until at least week 1, if not a little bit later than that. We'll see what happens with Thibodeau. But the news on Wednesday was really about the wide receiving core, and the Giants did make some roster additions on Wednesday. They claimed 3 players on waivers, were awarded 3 players. They were awarded cornerback Harrison Hand from off waivers from the Minnesota Vikings. And shout out to Big Blue View's Nick Filato, who posted a 5 players that the Giants should consider, 5 newly released players that the Giants should consider on Wednesday morning, and had Hand on his list. Hand is a 2020 5th round pick from the Minnesota Vikings, played for Minnesota for 2 years, was not a starter, but he's a guy, I believe, who played collegiately at Temple, guy who's got some intriguing athleticism, especially in the broad jump, vertical jump, and has long arms, not great speed, not great agility, at least according to his pro day measurables. But the Giants have obviously been looking for help at that cornerback position. They need some depth there. They claimed Elijah Griffin last week from the Buffalo Bills. This week it's Harrison Hand. I would venture a guess that next week, when cuts are made to 53, the initial 53 for the regular season, wouldn't be a surprise at all to see the Giants add even more at the cornerback spot. There's just a lot of questions there behind Adoree Jackson, Darnay Holmes, and Aaron Robinson. So no surprise to see Hand as a guy that the Giants claimed. Also brought in 2 wide receivers, awarded 2 guys claimed on waivers from the Baltimore Ravens, Jalen Moore and Bailey Gunther, 2 guys that, to be honest with you, I know nothing about. Neither of these guys has played any NFL games. I'm trying at this point to find out some information about both guys. I'll pass it along on bigblueview.com if and when I'm able to find out more about both of these guys and what Ravens people thought of these guys and what they might be able to contribute to the Giants. I don't know if these guys are just players who can help the Giants get through their final preseason game, or guys who might actually have a chance to stick around. But I'll try to get more information on both of those guys. Giants also terminated the contract of tight end Jordan Akins, guy who they signed in the offseason as a free agent from the Houston Texans. Akins just really never seemed to get a footing in New York, never really seemed to make an impact throughout training camp or the preseason. So tight end is another position where the Giants are going to have to supplement. As of right now, the only tight ends on the roster are Daniel Bellinger, Chris Myrick, and undrafted rookie free agent Austin Allen. There were reports on Wednesday that Tanner Hudson, an experienced tight end, had worked out for the Giants on Wednesday morning. Perhaps we'll see a signing there, but that's another position where the Giants are going to need to supplement the roster. One thing I wanted to talk about, Giants fans, I know there's a lot of gnashing of teeth about Giants and injuries and all of that. The Collin Johnson injury took place on the Giants' grass practice field. So let's not blame MetLife Stadium for that. If Alex Bachman has a toe injury, same situation there. Suffered on Wednesday on the grass practice field. Listen, I don't know if MetLife Stadium is any worse than any other stadium at this point in time. I know I've studied it a little bit lately. I know that in the 2021 season, 2020 and 2021, in fact, that torn ACLs are on the rise across the NFL. So this is not a problem that's specific to the Giants. I know there have been complaints about the turf at MetLife Stadium. I'm aware of all of that. I don't know if the turf in that stadium is any different than any turf in any other stadiums. I know that the research shows that grass fields are safer for players than the turf fields because you don't have as much risk of getting your foot caught in the field turf. You don't have that risk on grass. And I get it. I get calls from people looking for the Giants to go to grass, but I seriously doubt that that's going to happen. You'd have to get sign off from the Jets. You'd also have to consider the fact that MetLife is a multi-use facility. It's used for concerts, it's used for events, it's used for a lot of other things, and I'm not sure that grass would hold up. And that, I think, is a large part of the reason why the Giants have a field turf surface. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what the answer is in terms of injuries. The Giants have been trying to solve this injury situation ever since the Tom Coughlin days. You've gone through 5 coaching staffs, 2 or 3 training staffs. You've gone through several different rosters of players. So I don't know what the answer is in terms of this injury situation. Brian Daboll and GM Joe Shane came from Buffalo, brought in a lot of sports science type information. Brian Daboll has said he's very much a believer in analytics and the sports science and all of that kind of stuff. So, and in Buffalo, the Bills had a lot of success the last couple of years avoiding injuries. The Giants have brought these guys brought the same type of approach to New Jersey with the Giants, and you're still seeing an inordinate number of injuries on this roster. And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if the turf in the stadium has anything to do with it. I just don't know. I mean, you can throw out any theory that you want. Injuries are simply part of the game. It's really, really unfortunate. I feel really, really bad for guys like Marcus McKethan and Darian Beavers and Collin Johnson and Andre Miller, undrafted free agent tight end who had a chance to make the roster but is now on IR because of a broken forearm. So hopefully GM Joe Shane, assistant GM Brandon Brown are able to make something out of this situation. Hopefully they're able to find quality replacements for some of these guys. I know there's a lot of players coming available this week, next week. I'm sure that as we've already seen the Giants be busy, I'm sure they will continue to be busy reshaping the bottom of this roster, adding competition where it's necessary. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what it looks like on September 11th against the Tennessee Titans. All right, Giants fans, that's all I've got for you today. Just really wanted to talk about the return of Sterling Shepard, the loss of Collin Johnson, and again, folks watching on YouTube, I apologize for a little bit of the weird background, the little bit of the odd look to today's show, but I appreciate your patience. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me today. All right, Giants fans, thank you as always for your support. Please stay safe out there. Take care of each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.